Hey, I painted some models. Who would have guessed? But this time I only used primary colors. And in this video, well, mostly anyway, but in this video I'm going to show you how I did that and how I like to challenge my own creativity and my own skills and my own understanding of color. And this video is about that. And we start with putting our primary colors on the wet palette. So red, yellow, blue, and some white. And we start with skin color first, which is yellow, red, and some white. Finishing up this model that I've done earlier. As I said, we're gonna fix some of that mistakes I made earlier. And now we start with applying the skin to our model with different tints of orange, skin color, and white, in fact, just to create an interesting diversity of colors on the model. And there you have it, skin all done. Next up, we're going for green. Now, Nurgling green is not just yellow and blue, that's pure green. And Nurgling green has a bit of red in it, a hint of red. So that's what we're doing here. We're creating that iconic greenish tint. And we're about to start. So this is the first layer I will be applying. Later on I will darken it a little and then reapply for a better coat, so to speak. And while we let the green dry, we switch to the tentacle, creating some hot pink and purple, and start painting that. And while pink is still wet, we switch to purple and do some wet blending, followed with highlights. So I'll just add some white to the pink and start highlighting the model. Now while the green has dried up, we move back to green. I'm creating a darker, deeper green for the next layer. This will be the base layer for all the green on this model. And then we bring back the highlights. And here we are, applying some pure red on his wounds while we wait for the green to dry. And while I was doing that, I realized there was some skin patches in his cloth that needed to be done. And that's the joy of using these primary colors. You can just blend more and just keep on going.
So now we work on the finishing touch of the tentacle. We're adding the stripes on the other side with this very light pink color. And we're doing that because of the fact that the tentacle looks a bit more foreign than the rest of the model. So it's easy to isolate. And therefore finishing it up right now is not a big deal. So that's what we're doing now.
So, we have finished most of the body now, and I've finished highlighting the tentacle. So what next? Next is highlights, and we're highlighting the armor first.
Now, apart from the highlighting of edges, we're going to apply some directional scratches on his armor, which gives it a bit of a roughed up armor look. Now, as you can guess, we are creating some brown. We are going to make some highlights for both the commander and this guy we are currently painting. So just to finish off the commander, we are creating a little bit of a light brown first. As you can see, a simple fix, but it does create a difference. Now, adding some black, we can darken the brown for the main staff here. And we're going to follow this up with highlights of the ropes or rags that are wrapped around the wood of his weapon as well.
So all that is left to be done is the metal bits, all the bells, the chainmail, the helmet, and of course his weapon. And with that, I will start with applying the rust. It's a little trick I learned from another channel on YouTube, Eons of Battle. He applied turquoise on his bronze parts of his model in one of his videos. I'm not sure when he posted that, but that was a nifty little trick that I apply now today as well. From now on with all my models. So that's up next. And with that, all the primary colors have been used, and after that I will be using Leadbelcher and some other Citadel stuff like the Nurgle rod to finish up this model.
So we create this bright orange and start liberally applying this to all the metal parts. And once that is done, we switch over to Leadbelcher. Now last but not least, some Nurgle rot. Who doesn't like some Nurgle rot on his Nurgling army? This is to create some interesting texture and look.
So with that done, all that was left to do was basing, and well, I haven't recorded that because I've done this many times. If you're interested in how I base this with the marks here, you can look up the Blightkings video I did where I showed that. Other than that, yeah, my thoughts on this little experiment was it's pretty satisfying to paint like this, in my opinion. First of all, you get a let loss. Let loss. Okay, a let loss. A lot less colors. You could just stick with your yellow, blue, and red. And yeah, I've done a lot of acquisition of paints in the past. So it's quite interesting that what you can achieve, really, with just these primary colors. That said, moving forward, I'll probably mix it up a little. So for this model, which I did not record, unfortunately, I thought this would be not so exciting, but it turned out to be quite an interesting journey as well, is that I used the primary colors for the base and the sort of like the crustacean bits. Then I highlighted it with the Citadel Warboss Green, and I think I just did a white followed with what's it called? Not Tiger Brown. Wildwood on his weapon. So mixing up all these techniques and applying them on one model can really make the experience more enjoyable, I think. So moving forward, I will continue doing that, I think. The other interesting part of these Scalecolor Artist paints is that they really create this matte finish. This is without varnish, right? So it's quite interesting. And with that, it marks the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the journey as much as I did. And if you do, I wouldn't mind a like or even a subscribe to my channel for future videos. With that said, it's time for the B-roll.